Cudd Energy Services provides a broad range of specialized oil field completion services to energy companies engaged in the exploration and production of oil and natural gas. On today's well sites, we provide experienced personnel combined with engineered solutions to deliver an efficient completion solution. Cudd Energy Services provides today's most modern equipment in order to prepare the well for the hydraulic fracturing process. Our fracturing equipment is engineered to the industry's highest standards with safety and reliability at the heart of the design. Our engineers evaluate existing well conditions to formulate an efficient and proven well plan for the customer. Prior to any equipment arriving on location, Cudd's field representative performs a detailed site evaluation. Containment barriers and berms are constructed to preserve and protect the environment. This assessment ensures the safe and optimal setup of the water storage, proppant storage, coiled tubing, wireline, and pressure pumping equipment used for the completion process. After the well has been drilled, cased, and cemented, the completion phase begins. Hydraulic fracturing is an essential part of successful production in today's unconventional shale formations. This process will create a network of fractures in the zone of interest, providing channels for hydrocarbons to flow into the wellbore. The initial phase involves prepping the wellbore for perforation and stimulation of the toe stage. Cudd's coiled tubing division utilizes through tubing solutions exclusive abrasive perforator, minimizing tortuosity and injection pressure during the hydraulic fracturing operation. The perforating bottom hole assembly is lowered by the coiled tubing to a predetermined depth. At this point, the interval is perforated utilizing a high-pressure water and sand mixture, creating communication between the production casing and the formation. After the initial perforation is complete, the coiled tubing and bottom hole assembly are pulled out of the wellbore, and now the toe stage is ready to be fractured. The coiled tubing unit is then rigged down, and the hydraulic fracturing equipment and crew are positioned to begin operations. Cudd Energy Services' hydraulic fracturing fleet consists of the industry's most modern high-pressure pumps and computerized blending equipment. Our 2,250 horsepower hydraulic pumps are rated at 15,000 pounds per square inch. Cudd's blender, hydration unit, and liquid additive system deliver a consistent fluid throughout a multi-stage pumping operation. Water is drawn from the storage tanks into the hydration unit, where it is mixed with the gel and sent to the blender. Simultaneously, proppant is transferred to the blender from the proppant storage on a dual belt conveyor, while the liquid additive system delivers precise amounts of chemicals to the blender. The entire slurried fluid system is blended in the tub and sent to the high-pressure pumps through the low-pressure side of the manifold. The pumps increase the fluid pressure and then send it through the high-pressure side of the manifold to the wellhead. The entire fracturing process is supervised and controlled from the computerized data acquisition van. Cudd engineers and supervisors observe reservoir behavior during the treatment using the industry's latest treating software. Personnel closely monitor the bottom hole treating pressure response and how it compares with the pre-job engineering design. The initial fluid, known as the pad, is void of any proppant and enters the formation through the perforations. This high-pressure fluid increases the perforation length and creates, elongates, and enlarges fractures along the natural channels of weakness in the formation. Then, proppant is added to the fluid and the slurry is pumped throughout the newly created fracture network. The proppant holds the created fractures open and provides flow channels that allow hydrocarbons to flow into the production casing and then up to the surface. All fluid additives and proppant are closely monitored to ensure the volumes pumped are within design standards. Once the proppant slurry stage is completed, the well is then flushed with a predetermined volume of proppant-free fluid. This completes the fracturing process for the toe stage. Additional stages are completed by pumping down a perf and plug bottom hole assembly. This assembly consists of a composite isolation plug and perforating guns run on CES's electric line unit. The composite bridge plug is set in order to isolate the prior fractured interval and proceed with treatment of the next zone. This subsequent interval is then fractured, employing the same process as in the initial stage. The casing is perforated. The pad expands the network of fractures. Proppant is placed to hold the fractures open. The wellbore is flushed, and the new interval is isolated. This process is repeated for each interval until all stages are completed. Currently, typical horizontal shale completions consist of approximately 10 to 20 stages, with technological advances constantly increasing that number. Once the fracturing phase is completed, the isolation plugs are milled out and the wellbore is circulated clean, utilizing Cudd's coiled tubing or hydraulic workover services. The well is now ready to turn over to production.